What you are about to hear is a careful, respectful examination of publicly released evidence connected to one of the most discussed cases in recent history. This discussion is educational in nature. It avoids graphic detail, avoids speculation presented as fact, and focuses instead on how technology, specifically modern AI voice analysis, can shed light on audio evidence that has puzzled the public for years. At the center of this case is a short audio clip recorded on a cell phone. Just a few words, a brief command, a voice that became known worldwide as Bridge Guy. Those words were released to the public in hopes that someone would recognize the voice. For years, investigators, journalists, amateur analysts, and everyday listeners replayed that audio repeatedly, searching for clarity. But human hearing has limits. Background noise, wind interference, distance from the microphone, compression artifacts, emotional projection by listeners. All of these factors influence how we perceive a voice. In recent years, artificial intelligence has transformed audio analysis. Modern systems can isolate frequencies, enhance speech clarity without artificially altering tone, analyze cadence patterns, and even model regional speech markers. These tools are not magic. They do not declare guilt. They do not replace investigators. But they can clarify what human ears struggle to interpret. The original audio clip was short and low quality. Investigators enhanced it before releasing it. Even so, the recording remained difficult to interpret. Listeners debated everything: the age of the speaker, the emotional state, the accent, even the pacing of the words. AI voice analysis approaches the clip differently. Instead of asking, "Who does this sound like?" the system asks measurable questions. What is the fundamental frequency range? What is the harmonic distribution? What is the tempo between syllables? What is the stress pattern on key words? Are there regional phonetic markers present? Let's begin with pitch. Human voices fall within predictable frequency bands. Adult male voices typically occupy a lower fundamental frequency range, though stress can raise pitch temporarily. AI analysis of the released clip suggests a controlled, relatively stable pitch band. That stability is notable. Even in a tense environment, the voice does not display extreme pitch fluctuation. Pitch stability can indicate emotional regulation. It can also indicate intentional control. However, it does not reveal motive or character. It only reveals acoustic behavior. Next, cadence. Cadence refers to rhythm and pacing. In the audio clip, the spacing between words is deliberate. There is no rapid stutter, no overlapping breath rush. The phrase is delivered in a measured tempo. AI timing analysis shows consistent micro-pauses between syllables. Measured cadence often suggests a person accustomed to giving instructions. But again, that is a pattern, not a verdict. Then there is articulation. Consonant formation in the clip shows relatively clean enunciation despite background distortion. Certain phonemes, particularly plosive consonants, retain clarity. This allows AI systems to model mouth positioning and likely tongue placement during speech. Regional dialect analysis tools compare vowel shaping to geographic speech databases. Some listeners believed they heard a Midwestern accent. Others were uncertain. AI systems compare vowel resonance patterns to thousands of regional samples. While such systems can estimate dialect tendencies, they cannot pinpoint identity. Another important factor is compression artifact correction. Older enhancement techniques often amplified noise along with voice. Modern neural networks separate speech from ambient noise more effectively. By isolating vocal harmonics, AI can reconstruct clearer versions of low-quality recordings while maintaining original acoustic integrity. When newer models reprocess the public audio, subtle tonal textures become more apparent. Breath placement, slight downward inflection at the end of the phrase, controlled volume projection. Volume projection is interesting. The voice is not shouted, it is firm. There is a difference. Acoustic pressure levels suggest moderate force but not panic-driven intensity. This may indicate situational confidence at the moment of recording. Another measurable component is vocal strain. Under acute stress, voices often tighten. Muscular constriction affects resonance. AI strain detection algorithms analyze spectral tilt, the balance between high and low frequency energy. In this clip, the spectral profile suggests relative vocal steadiness. That steadiness has led some experts to describe the tone as composed. Composure in audio does not equal innocence or guilt. It indicates regulation. Now consider linguistic economy. The phrase captured in the recording is brief, direct, instructional. There is no filler language, no hesitation words like or AI discourse modeling shows high directness density. This often appears in authoritative speech patterns. Again, pattern, not conclusion. One of the most debated aspects of the audio has been perceived age. Human listeners often estimate age based on vocal texture. However, age perception is unreliable. Vocal aging depends on hydration, smoking history, vocal use habits, and natural physiology. AI systems analyze jitter and shimmer, micro variations in frequency and amplitude. These acoustic markers can sometimes correlate loosely with age range. The publicly available clip, however, is too compressed to allow precise age modeling. AI can suggest probability bands, but not definitive ranges. Another overlooked element is emotional neutrality. The voice does not display exaggerated anger markers. There is no audible shouting distortion. Instead, the tone is steady and directive. Behavioral acoustics experts note that directive tones without raised pitch often indicate situational dominance. Dominance markers in voice include lowered pitch onset, reduced variability, and forward resonance placement. The clip contains some of these elements, but it is critical to avoid overinterpretation. A short audio sample cannot reveal personality traits. It cannot diagnose psychology. It cannot tell a full story. What it can do is narrow acoustic ambiguity. Modern AI comparison tools can match voice prints across large data sets. Law enforcement agencies use controlled comparison processes, not internet speculation. Voice print comparison involves mapping vocal tract resonance patterns and harmonic spacing. These features are as unique as fingerprints in controlled recordings. However, short and noisy samples reduce confidence levels. That is why clarity matters. AI also helps by simulating environmental acoustics. By modeling the likely distance between speaker and recording device, systems estimate projection strength and directional orientation. In this case, analysis suggests the speaker was not whispering, nor was he extremely distant from the device. Another technical area is prosody. Prosody refers to melody in speech, rising and falling pitch contours. In the released clip, the final word carries a slight downward contour. Downward contours often signal finality or command completion. Linguists analyze whether such contours reflect habitual speech patterns. But again, without longer speech samples, conclusions remain limited. The public fascination with this audio clip reveals something deeper about human perception. When information is scarce, the mind fills gaps. Listeners project expectations. They imagine faces. They imagine tone intentions. They assign emotional weight based on narrative context. AI does not imagine. It measures. It measures waveform consistency. It measures harmonic distortion. It measures syllable timing. In recent years, forensic audio labs have adopted deep learning models trained on millions of speech samples. These models detect micro-patterns invisible to traditional spectral analysis. For example, breath noise texture can indicate physical exertion level at the moment of speech. In this clip, breath intervals appear controlled. Another measurable element is background ambience. AI can subtract ambient noise to isolate footsteps, fabric movement, or environmental cues. However, public versions of the clip are already processed. Original raw recordings would allow deeper analysis under controlled conditions. It is important to emphasize respect here. This case involved real victims, real families, and profound loss. The purpose of analyzing audio technology is not entertainment. It is understanding how evidence evolves over time. Technology in 2025 is not the same as technology when the clip was first released. Machine learning models now reconstruct degraded signals with far higher fidelity. Could AI fully clarify the voice? Not in the sense of revealing identity automatically, but it can reduce ambiguity. It can determine whether the voice shows signs of intoxication. It can model likely stress load. It can identify if speech tempo aligns with habitual patterns found in comparison samples. Some analysts have noted that the brevity of the clip limits emotional profiling. Emotional AI systems require longer speech segments to model affect reliably. Another factor is command tone psychology. Short directive statements often rely on authority rather than volume. The clip demonstrates a controlled directive structure. This can reflect situational assertiveness. But assertiveness in a vacuum means little. The public also debated whether the voice sounded older or younger. AI-based formant analysis measures resonant frequencies shaped by vocal tract length. Longer vocal tracts typically correlate with deeper resonance. However, environmental recording factors can skew formant measurement. When neural enhancement tools isolate the speech layer, resonance appears moderately low but not extremely deep. Again, probability, not certainty. AI also examines microtremor, tiny fluctuations in pitch that indicate muscular tension. The sample shows minimal tremor. That suggests vocal steadiness at the moment of recording. Why does this matter? Because public perception often equates steadiness with confidence and confidence with calculated intent. But emotional states are complex. A person can exhibit vocal steadiness for many reasons: personality traits, prior experience giving instructions, or simply natural tone. The real value of AI here lies in standardization. Instead of thousands of people replaying a distorted clip through phone speakers, forensic systems analyze the waveform mathematically. This reduces projection bias. It also prevents myth formation. When audio is unclear, rumors grow. Technology can limit that ambiguity. Another aspect worth discussing is speech rate. Speech rate in the clip is neither rushed nor slow. It falls within normal conversational command speed. AI calculates syllables per second and compares them to baseline distributions. The result suggests deliberate pacing. Deliberate pacing combined with pitch stability forms a consistent acoustic profile. However, no responsible analysis claims that such a profile alone defines character or intent. In the broader field of forensic linguistics, experts caution against overconfidence in short audio samples. Reliability increases with longer recordings. Context matters. Still, technological progress offers new clarity. If additional audio exists beyond what the public has heard, advanced systems today could analyze it more thoroughly. Voice biometrics now include deep neural embeddings, mathematical representations of vocal identity. These embeddings compare across suspect samples in controlled lab conditions. They generate likelihood ratios, not absolute statements. And that distinction is critical. Likelihood is not certainty. As we reflect on this case, the key takeaway is not about labeling a voice. It is about understanding how evidence evolves with time. What sounded ambiguous years ago may now reveal clearer acoustic structure. What once relied on human guesswork can now rely on spectral mapping. Yet technology must always be paired with ethics. Audio enhancement should clarify, not dramatize. It should preserve original integrity, not manipulate tone to fit narrative. In high-profile cases, public curiosity is inevitable, but responsible discussion centers on process, not spectacle. AI voice analysis does not replace investigative work. It supplements it. It cannot feel the weight of the case. It cannot grasp the human cost. It cannot speak for those affected. But it can measure waveforms without bias. And sometimes measurement is what clarity requires. As we move forward into an era where AI continues to reshape forensic science, cases like this remind us of both the promise and the limits of technology. Clarity is possible. Certainty is rare. Respect must remain constant. Thank you for listening thoughtfully and responsibly.